Hey, what's up, lovely people? Welcome back to Suhe Speaks. Today I'm going to be talking about The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That's a long ass title, but we're going to talk about it. I got to see it yesterday, but before anything, make sure you like and subscribe. We're going to talk about this. And can we just forever get rid of the Nicole Kidman AMC commercial? Like, what is the point of her even having a commercial anymore? We're going to the theater, we're already there. Why is she telling us to come to the theater when we're there? Like, I could enjoy my experience more if I didn't have a stupid ass commercial wasting my 3-4 minutes that I could be having towards the movie. It's already 17 to 21 minutes before the movie actually starts. But with that out of the way, make sure you like and subscribe. We're gonna get it started. This is The Hunger Games, the brand new movie about President Snow and the beginning of the games. So the movie Hunger Games starts off in the dark days. This is 3 years before the first game. The war is happening and you see young Snow and his cousin. You see a brief moment where he is a very elitist family and they are actually one of the poorest. You see different classism that the elites even have, where they are really super rich ones and then the poor ones. Even though Snow has a righteous path, he basically is already on the path to become the president or the ruler of Panem. So the way the movie starts off, you get to see the whole capital of Panem, and it's really nice because you don't notice or get this in the first 3-4 installments that was with Katniss. So this movie focuses on the life, the politics, and everything behind the scenes in the capital, the elites, how this happens. So you're introduced to other elites. You're introduced to Olivia Davis, who is the mad doctor. She's very entertaining. You're introduced to Tom Blyth, who is President Snow. You're seeing an origin story of this guy who starts off very nice and very humane, and then he transforms into the monster who is behind the whole Hunger Games. So it's a villain origin story as you know it from the beginning. Peter Dinklage, as always, he can carry any scene and he's always there. Like, it just, I can't explain how amazing this guy is. You gotta see Game of Thrones. This dude steals every time he's on the scene, and it was lovely seeing him, especially in this role. So he's the dean. He's basically one half of the pair that created the Hunger Games. You later on find out who the other half is, but right now he is responsible and he gets all the credit for it, and you see him carrying a massive burden. You get introduced to Peter Dinklage's son, the dean's son, who is a completely different person than he is. He's outspoken, he wants to help everybody, he thinks the Hunger Games are inhumane, that we're killing people, this is murder, which it is. And then you get introduced to the other main character of this, Lucy Gray, played by Rachel Zegler. I don't know how to say this, but she surprised me in good and bad ways, and I'll get more into it. So the Hunger Games are not exciting and people are not paying attention. It's been 10 years ever since then and they're dying, so they need to make a new way. So the dean comes up with the final exam. President Snow was promised this prize based on his academic achievements and he was almost able to get it, but the dean is trying his very best to stop him from getting any sort of funding so he can improve or improvise on the Hunger Games. But so they come up with the mentorship. This is the first time mentorship came. The better the person mentors, the higher chance that you get of this prize. So you see President Snow, he's been assigned this girl who's Lucy Gray. She is an oddball. She doesn't really belong to any district. She's one of the covenants where they go around singing. Think gypsy like type of people with southern accent. It was kind of different for me to get used to it. I'm not sure if she has that accent in the book. I have not read the book, so I wouldn't know. So Lucy Gray is introduced as this connection or as love interest to Snow, which you see happening. Is predictable, it is right there, so you're not surprised by anything. So the whole point of this was Snow wanted to get her sponsorship and make other people walk and get donations so she can do stuff, because there was no possibility she can survive. All she knew was how to sing. And when you're introduced, she does the Katniss pose with the bowing, and all she does is sing. And this is where it got really annoying for me. The movie started off in 2 parts, and the second part was the prize. The first part was the mentorship. You see the whole connection, and I just never felt that Lucy Gray was grounded. Like when you see Katniss was real. She felt vulnerable. She had love. She had loss. She had pain. She sacrificed. She was such an awesome character that right from the get-go you are like supporting her and you wanted to win. Plus she can fight. She can use that bow like no other. She was the Mockingjay and she could sell everything. She was great. She felt real. While Lucy Gray did not feel real at all. She felt too cocky, too confident. She felt all over the place, and I just couldn't get into her. I just like, I'm supposed to feel for this character, her suffering, but at the time I'm just like sitting there very blind going like, I don't see anything about her that makes me want to cheer for her. It's just weird to say it, but I know she's the main character, but I don't care. I was not connected to any of these characters. It felt rushed. The things I liked were the retro looking equipment. You see like it was the old school look, because this is before pandemic. The Capitol actually went future in technology, so this is the prior days. You see the tributes being treated like animals in the zoo. They're like caged up so people can come and see. Snow will do anything to win, and he's helping his tribute, his District 12 Lucy Gray, his student in a way, survive so he can get a good grade. So he does everything is possible. So he finds ways to try to help her, and I'm not gonna ruin everything in this, but he does cheat and they end up finding out, and because he cheated they basically punish him and they ship him off in a military unit along with his best friend, because his best friend went into the arena because he wanted to pay respect to his tribute, his friend who died. And there was a whole thing where Snow ended up killing the first person in the arena trying to escape. His human nature came out, and this is the first cracking of President Snow, of who he becomes. And then he leaves and he goes to District 12. He's assigned there and he runs into Lucy Gray. It's obviously she's gonna run into her. Over here we get a lot of their story, their chemistry, and their love, whatever you want to call it, but it never felt real. Like when you had Peeta and Katniss, that was more real. This felt so forced, and her singing got so annoying. It felt like Hunger Games the musical. I didn't realize I was paying for a musical. I really thought I was gonna go see some crazy stuff. And the first 2 acts were not bad. The first 2 parts I was okay with it, but the third part just felt so rushed and it dragged. It felt so slow, and I feel like we got cheated out of what could have been a good movie or a mini series if it went in that route. You have a lot of foreshadowing, a lot of moments, a lot of scenes where you see Katniss, Mockingjay, the girl on fire. There's so many moments where you are referred to the future movies, and it's nice to see, and it's a little fan service, but it really doesn't give any excitement because you get this movie 8 years after the last Hunger Games, when this is the prequel. This should have come out much before so we could felt more about President Snow. Yes, this movie explains about President Snow and it tells you how the Hunger Games came to be until Katniss came, I think 64 years before or whatever it is, but it felt incomplete. It felt I didn't care for it. I just wanted to end and go home. 2 hours and 37 minutes. I was bored out of my mind. It felt slow. It felt sloppy. A lot of singing. I know there's a lot of folk songs that come from this movie, from the story, but I just couldn't connect. Maybe it's for people that read the books and they might enjoy it more, but Hunger Games is a reminder of the Capitol and them winning, them being the victor, and that's basically how it came to be. And later on you find out President Snow's dad is actually the other pair that created the Hunger Games. He's the one who took the idea that Dean, that's played by Peter Dinklage, he took it and he ran with it and he got all the fame. He had to suffer. He ended up dying, but it felt like the whole cycle of violence and history revolves around the Snow family. And at the end, Snow walks into the Capitol after he basically gets everything he wants. He's back in the Capitol. The love story about them, it felt weird. Like it forced him to become the monster that he is. Like I knew he was going to become, but it just didn't feel justified. I guess that's why he likes Katniss and Peeta whenever he sees them. Overall, I don't think this movie is worth going seeing in theater. I definitely did not. If I had a choice, I definitely would not go back and see this again. I thought it was boring. It's not something I enjoyed. I enjoyed the other Hunger Games with Katniss. Lucy Gray does not cut it for me. Tom Blyth, he did a good job. I think everybody did a good job, but I was not prepared for a musical. I had no connection. Overall, this movie felt very flat to me. I did not enjoy it. It's meh, to be honest. Let me know your thoughts below. Comment below. Are you a reader who's read the Hunger Games? You might have enjoyed it. Let me know what I missed out on. Like and subscribe. I'm Suhe. I give this movie a 6 out of 10, probably even lower, but I'm just being generous. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye bye.